Girls here. I'm Renee.
And I'm G.
And this is our weekly podcast where we talk about life in Jamaica as young professionals.
Mm-hmm.
So we're tackling everything. Religion.
Finance,
Finance.
relationships,
Mhm.
hardships, funships, and
Yes.
everything that young people face in this life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna kick things off with our In the Know segment. And this is our segment where we tackle things from the past week or so that got our emotions riled up or got the gears in our brains turning.
Trendy topics.
Yeah. Now, unless you've been living under a rock,
Bikini bottom. SpongeBob.
I like that. You aren't aware that the Oscars happened last night.
Yes.
And most notably, Will Smith took a swing at Chris Rock.
Horrible.
Yeah, give me your take. Tell me.
Oh, thank you guys for watching the previous episodes, I must say.
For sure.
And the likes and the comments. I love Will. Will
Mhm.
and Denzel are my favorite actors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Love Will, love Will. Have Will's book. Akino sent me the book for Christmas. Read the book. Love Will. However, in my humble opinion, because Will don't even know me, so it really no matter what me have to say. But in my humble opinion, wrong. Will has now turned a moment for not only himself and his family, but also Serena and Venus and the other girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry, they don't want next sister. I just don't know her name. And he turned that moment into this. So it's no longer a win for them. It's now the Oscars where Will backs Chris. It's not the Oscars that Will won his first Academy Award for King Richard. Yeah, and now the Oscars were in backs Chris. So and I was expecting better from somebody who knows better.
Mm-hmm.
He's not above it all, because sometimes we forget that they're human. He's not above it all, but he knows better. You could have boxed him when he cut.
Backstage, though.
You could have boxed him backstage. You could have called him and tell him some bad word after. The one of them have each other number.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know about it, Renee. But not only America, but now the whole world see your box, Chris. And not only that, Chris handled it in a one way where we are saying, wow, he's the better person. So you look fully two times. You box the man and he take it like a champ and you never have to go box the man. So you just look fully two times. Because the man retaliate to you. The man show you what you could have done, which was to show restraint. You know what I think happened too, looking from it from a mental health perspective, I think he has had enough of the jokes about his wife and him. Because everybody you're a punk and you have jailer on your head. And I think last night was the last straw and a Chris getty.
Yeah.
Because even Regina made a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And
was it an entanglement joke though?
No, it was kind of. She said something like, she did a call up some single man, and she said like, Will, Jada already making one say you're single, so just come up here. Like, yeah. So,
but I think that's what it is. I think with the entanglement jokes, it's what they're used to. It's what they don't have an issue ignoring. But I think with the joke about her hair specifically, because it's a health issue, it's something that she can't necessarily control.
I understand. However, I don't think that was the problem.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think it was alopecia. I just think Will annoyed now. He reached and then because he Bridget and Chris, he reached the level.
I'd really hate to think that the health factor isn't something, because here's this thing, because it's something that is, we know how women are with their hair.
Yes,
you understand me?
Some women, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
everybody that knows me know I don't comb my hair. I don't care. Me not comb my hair, but I get it. Me know females who do the hair every week.
Yeah. So, and then that's the thing.
Don't want me there.
She had to make the choice to go bald because she was already balding from
it was shedding. Yeah.
Right. And so we don't know if that's something that she breaks down about behind closed doors.
That's what I was saying.
Entanglement jokes, everybody knows about that, in the sense of, they're the ones that kind of put on there. Otherwise, she talk about the alopecia thing still. But with the entanglement joke, I feel as though they've built up a defense to it, so it doesn't really affect them that much. But when you're going to talk about her health, especially because it's a friend,
Yes.
probably,
Yes.
it's like, okay, that's too far. No, I'm not saying that he's right in what he did.
Mhm.
I would have really listen. I love excitement. I love the look of tussle we're going, but I would have preferred if it wasn't Will and Chris. I mean, these are two.
You don't prefer white people, don't?
Yes.
And I mean one. Honestly, they're
Yes,
like, oh God,
but
look what they now we come back and ask
You
us.
understand?
We don't prefer white people. Honestly, I would have
I'm
been
not,
like,
I don't even. I'm not even going to say I would have preferred it was
we did prefer white people.
But I would have preferred if it wasn't those two. If it
Yeah.
wasn't those two.
Mm.
Because honestly, let me tell you, someone sent me the video last night when it happened. I jumped on Twitter, I saw all the reactions, and I didn't watch the full video until today. And I don't think I've yet to get through the full video because it just makes me cringe so bad.
He was laughing
At first,
and
yeah.
then I think, you probably see Jada and be like,
And how she reacted, yeah.
And you said something that I want to talk about. You said we don't know what's happening behind closure. Remember, this is a husband and a wife that sleeps. I'm hoping they are so big, probably will sleep. Yes, and we know all won't go. But I am thinking that this is a man that has to console his wife at night, probably crying. So she bawls. Say her ear gone, her beauty, probably thinking she ugly on them something there, right? So probably he's the one seeing firsthand in wife struggle. So we don't know if it's true, So she probably then break down to him and then we don't get right. We don't know if it's true.
But like I said, that still doesn't excuse.
No, it doesn't. It's a bit better for him.
Listen, let me tell you something. Will this, as you said, and I think you summarized the whole thing quite beautifully. This was the crowning moment of his career. Listen, we should have known Oscar
long time.
How
before we born.
You understand me? Will
remember black people did cut up, but we did cut up all that in a way. We did cut up.
I mean, although I think it's Denzel did win the year still, so
but we did
still alright. But you understand me?
Yeah.
I know this should have been the crowning. He finally got one.
He said in his acceptance speech that Denzel said to him, because after him in Backstreet, right? And commercial break, everybody, Tyler, Lady Gaga co-star, Star Was Born. Bradley Cooper and Tyler Perry and Denzel bring him one said that they were bridging and Ray and them that talking now, right? And he said in his acceptance speech that Denzel said to him, say, in their highest moment the devil always show up. And that he make happen.
Can I tell you? Denzel.
I know. Denzel is big. Denzel is big.
Denzel, I'm a heart. Listen,
and Denzel should have been an EGOT, but he probably never get no Tony.
No. Even though that's where he started. Did you know? I was watching an interview that he did with Jesus and Mero. Love them. Particularly because Jesus is Jamaican. Big ups. And well, I mean, they're just in touch. I'm in touch with the culture and everything. Yeah. But he did an interview for a movie that he did last year, The Tragedy of Macbeth. And let me tell you something. It's the realest I've ever seen Denzel. When I tell you that this man can connect with any age group,
I'm telling you,
with any demographic, it is amazing. So guys, if you're a Denzel fan, trust me, you're going to want to watch that interview.
He kills it every time. Offenses, I was like, oh my god, Iman Vela Davis.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. But and he, those words, I think, if there was any takeaway from the night, it would have been what he said to him. Yes. Because those words are very true.
Kind we talk about Lupita's reaction? Yeah.
She's like, and her mouth kind of goes, oh.
Yes. But Will was wrong. But he's a product of what men have to face in terms of abuse and also bullying. Yeah. And he's a product. He cut full and in box down, man. But what a composure. As me saying, could I call him after and say, we wouldn't have to know if not happened behind the scenes. And I would have, I don't condone violence. So, but I'm just sorry that this is a takeaway. Because as me said, this is going to be every time we remember this at the Oscars when he in Backstreet. I know the Oscar when he finally win one Academy Award. Yeah. Oscar when he. But I don't like. I still love Will. I will support his movies because I separate art from artists, which a lot of people don't agree with. But I still love Will and Jada. I don't know.
The power, the
We don't need, but then the therapists, the therapists,
the power, the good.
Well, for the good or what, but you can tell that he's a product of something that is happening, and they need to deal with it before this become a thing. Now everybody.
I mean, is it really that? Like, if someone lashes out, I mean, we don't know if him and Chris probably have beef. Because I saw on the internet there was like the last time that Chris hosted, he said some. So we don't know if him and Chris have beef.
We'll have up your life.
Yeah, people
we have up.
I don't think this is he needs to go to therapy and he has demons.
I think he's a product of the demons we might have deal with.
Jada demons?
Yeah. You watch her table talk?
No.
Watch it, that's why I don't understand where they go on. She hear everything. Some things that we don't need to know she talk about around the table. Love it though. Her table talk is my show. Love it. Love her too.
But I feel as though that would have been like a family conversation, right? It would be something that they agree their fan. And that's the thing, with celebrities nowadays, especially in the social media era, they're realizing that you have to connect to your fans. There's a certain level of relatability that is going to allow you to continuously be successful.
But I feel like though that there's a limit too.
But it's up to them to decide.
I'm sure we know daytime image.
It's up to them to decide how much they want to share. And as you say, as much as you don't like when them share, you still tune in. And I
love it. Love it. Don't miss an episode. Love it. But yeah,
it was funny because of what it was, but it was sad because of who it happened.
Cringy, and that's
who it happened.
And no, we are now the aggressive black people. We're now the aggressive black people who care with problems everywhere.
And them are going to have one guest list next year.
And then
6 people.
Oh, you see the meme where said, "This is why Beyonce don't go anywhere." Because every time she
Can I tell you how everything happens? It always ends up being about Beyonce.
It's like, this is why B don't go anywhere. Y'all be fighting in front of
Beyonce. That's funny. Her performance last night was really good. By the way, see that. I love the fact that they looked like they were just tennis balls.
A lot of people don't like. She was in yellow or something like that. I saw a snippet.
A tennis ball kind of color looking thing.
A lot of people don't like her because they're saying that she's overrated. I am not a fan, like a huge fan. I think she can sing, and when you hear me say this, you must know because I'm a hard critic when it comes on to performance. I think she is one of the greatest performers of all time. So I can imagine last night's performance being so a long time she not performed at the Oscars.
Yeah, I think it's at 5 years.
She come out real strong, so I'm going to watch it.
And Blue was there dancing with her too.
Nice. She involves Blue a lot. So Rumi and Sarah never did it.
So they've now moved to change the requirements, and it's no longer only 2 persons that can.
Then I mean, yard living where we are run from.
Yeah, do they see how they're devolving, or is it like
and here is have to be 3 relatives or something?
Yeah, you have to show proof that you're related.
We are like the most unstructured. What's the word I'm looking for? When they come on to family living now, we wear hard bad. People like legit in their room and nobody knows. So then they home where we are living now.
Yeah.
We're not connected as family
back
anymore.
Then. But when NHT did just start, this was the policy.
Nice,
no problem. But you have people who have been, especially our generation, who we've been introduced towards like trauma and therapy, and we're trying to get away from the familial trauma.
NHT.
Me not look for us with the family.
Let me show you how it's horrible. I know people who them leave go away and not even weekends.
Then go back home.
What me say? Not even weekends. Then go back home to their family. We are not that generation anymore. We're leaving. We're flying away.
They're positioning it as a benefit.
How is it a benefit?
Because the interest rates are going to be lower. So right now, I think it's 6.5 million per person, and the interest rate
can only bill one room.
Bill? No, babes. That's the house. That's not even like when you go to NHT, it's different if you're going to get the provision for building versus buying versus purchasing.
Yeah.
So the 6.5 is for purchasing, right? Before it was 2 people. So you could have get what, at $13 million? No, you can't get 19.5 million. That can't even buy one good
What
shot.
I want to know, because these people, I'm assuming, are educated people in terms of being measured by degrees. Because I think that's another conversation. I don't think education is measured in degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming that these people who make these policies have to show some kind of people that, hey man, go to school, go get this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you sat down around a big table and come up with.
Because once again, they don't care. They do not
You're right,
care
'cause they
about
inner
the people there.
Then 13 million also then take money from
13.
NCB and bills. I think how much money that woman there up for NCB again?
30.
She's
Like,
come back
it's
now. 6 years she got?
it's ridiculous. There is no way. And here's the kicker. So the triangle can get to a 6.5 each. The interest rates are going to be lower, but it has to be a home that has like 2 bedrooms or more, and you have to prove that you're a family, right? I know that there are people that are looking at this and they're saying, good on ya. Yeah, we like it. We appreciate it. But for the most part, especially those of us who want to get away from the family, it's not a good look.
Disclaimer,
I've been working.
My family watch this. Disclaimer, I love my family, me now move. Love my family. But I'm thinking of others. I'm not a selfish person. I'm thinking of others. But me now move. Me love my family.
Yeah, lucky
move.
you.
Except water commission, but me now move.
There are people who, whilst they love them family, they love their own space. Like, you don't have to be a separation of the two. You understand me?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't help that you want to be like, an independent person. It doesn't help that you want to set foundation for yourself. And what you have to do is,
catch up.
Suppose you make up suppose you make up and buy the house, and family and family live bad.
Girl.
You make up and buy the house.
Girl,
and then when the loan for pay a month's time, your Shelly say, "Oh, I don't have no money, so I have to go find it." Yeah. I think there's so many problems that can arise
I just
from
don't
this.
understand how people sat around a table and discuss, and
This
this
was
was what they came up with. I am very disappointed in all the policymakers in this. Very highly disappointed. I may need one on the job. Highly
So what would have been a solution for you? What would you have done differently?
For me, more money.
So you increase the cap.
Increase it. Find a way to make it more affordable. There's always a way. We just always choose a way to burden people. There's always a way. Increase the money. Find a way where these people can pay off the money in a timely manner that won't affect everybody and also will benefit you. Because at the end of the day, Renee is a business.
Yeah.
At the end of it all, it's a business. But the 3% something, I would have never come up with that. You know what I need? I bet you say some 60, 75-year-old man sit down around that table there and make that decision there. You guys need some young people.
I keep telling you the dinosaurs in
Man,
Parliament
some
need
60,
to go.
70-year-old man where sit down with them and they're proud and these young people are lazy. They don't want to, poor we can't afford nothing. But, what can we do?
Yeah. But guys, let us know your thoughts. Do you think it was a good idea? Do you think that as a country we need to do better? Absolutely, yes.
Do you think that we're reaching and I mean it's
we're extra?
A good look, and or if anybody is actually going through the process, let us know what it's like.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never heard anybody actually go through the process and tell me like this is what happened.
Like go through the process and be successful.
Yeah.
But because I had a friend who she was going through the process the other day and the man told her, no babes, like based on your income, and this is somebody who's pulling in like $2 million a year from them regular 9 to 5 plus they have like a side she have a side business, you understand me? Yeah. But I think the issue or one of the problems is with her side business, like she never had it properly
registered.
No, the accounting for it wasn't being done properly, so she couldn't
necessarily look shaky.
No, it don't look shaky, but you couldn't necessarily pull up files to show that hey, this is definitely what I'm making. Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on. The next thing that I want to talk about is, and I think a few weeks ago we had a conversation about this. I don't know if you'd mind sharing your story, but National Water Commission said because gas prices going up, water prices have to go up. I want you to explain to our listeners the relationship that you have with NWC.
So when I saw this at first, I was very confused as to what water commission was referring to. Because it cannot be the water that I don't get. So it cannot be that water. It cannot be the water that I don't get that water commission is going to. What them say them are going to do? Have frequent lockoffs. You've been on lockoff with water. Like what? You've been on lockoff with water. So I was so confused as to what water commission was referring to. Because it cannot be the one that is not coming in my pipe already. Can I tell you that every time O'Shane comes to my house, it's $14,000 we have to get O'Shane? $14,000 we have to pay for water. The water truck driver. Yeah, the water truck driver. Big up yourself, O'Shane. O'Shane gives me water. So I don't know which lockoff water commission I'm talking about. First of all, East Central St. James on a whole not have water. Summertime, where me live, Lilliput, we not have water. So I was very shocked to see what they matter about. I have been in community where people have water, they run on road, just run like a dirt. And I'm like, interesting. So there is water. Because me they just think that there is no water. But when we go community like now, we don't see pipe just out, dash out like some girl or garbage or something. And I'm like, so there is water. It's just that my community is not the preferred community. And I'm annoyed. Even though probably 10 and 16, 15 of them up the teeth water, we still must get with water.
What does your bill look like?
My water bill.
Yes, that's the story.
Hello, everybody. So my water bill was $109,000. It's now $59,000. My water bill was that amount because they kept sending me bills, not sending me water, and I did not pay for a while for it to get to $109,000. So I am thinking, why are you sending me bills and we're not getting water? And when the water does come, for those of you who view my status, I put it up regularly, it drips. Like freaking Akeem in a, what is your name? What is your name?
I don't know.
Empire. You know someone sing about drip?
No, I was thinking of Encanto. Drip, 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 drip.
Oh, pressure like a drip, 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 blow. Yeah,
that's what I was
That's
talking about. He said drip.
But yeah, so it drips. So you can't use it. You can't even use it feed that. I hope there are people out there who can relate to me and don't think I'm exaggerating. I don't get running water. Sad. I don't get it, but I get bills.
And what did they tell you when you told them to get up?
I can't remember what the woman said because I'm not even at home. So I'm like, listen, if
so Jay said the reason why they kept sending the bill is because
yeah.
Said,
well, we pay for the pressure or something or
you pay for the connection. You're not really paying for the water.
And
so
I'm
because
like,
the connection did on,
yes, that's why we were still being billed. And then she's like, oh, she went on the computer and she's like, oh, you get water between June, July, August. I get a little bit, man. I'm like, miss, did you hear that you just said 3 months? She's like, you get water between June, July, August. You get a little bit. So she's summarizing the amount of water we get in 3 months' time. To show how ridiculous these people are.
I think that we have now devolved into a society where they do not care to hide their corruption.
No.
They do not care to hide their scamming. And this is why, not that I condone any type of scamming, but thief no likes to thief with long bag. And that is why the government are run up and look you them where dial.
Yeah.
Because I cannot for the life of me understand how gas prices going up. Where gas prices going up have to do with water.
I haven't seen the explanation
in the article.
There is no explanation in the article.
Do they use
Somebody comment under it and say, oh, so it's Russia now I get it from?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
but I'm guessing it has to do something with maybe the engine, the pumps, all of that. However, my problem with the article, because you can't scam with everything and go up since war, you can't do it, and get away. My problem is don't act like we did not get the water before water commission. That's my problem we do now. They act like we did not get the water before, and all of a sudden, oh no, they have now become.
Woe is me.
Oh no, no, we have to cut back. We always not give you water. Me tell her Renee. to show you how we know exactly the runnings.
Mhm.
We try to see how best we can be home on Fridays and Mondays because that's the time them send the 20-minute drip.
So what do? You like catch up everything? You have drum and them something?
Yeah, but when the drip come, it probably alright. So we're using this as a drum, and then we also a drip carry.
Is it clean water as well?
Yes, it clean. And then I have a disadvantage. I live up a very steep hill, and they don't turn on the pressure.
Oh.
So I get water when everybody in my community stops getting it. So when them decide to we tank them full now we're done, the water run up. Yeah, it reach up on my yard when it done. So that's why I have to be buying water. I don't want to see nobody from water. I don't even want to see the logo.
Have you guys tried protesting?
Here's how my community works. I live in a very small community, and I love everybody in my community, but we are not free thinkers in my community. So as soon as Bartlett come again and drive through the Imprado, then good again. Then I remember so they can't be a figure vote. So it makes no sense. Everybody in my community is laid back and have the mentality of the 80s and the 70s where we don't complain. We take what we get and we don't complain. Yes. But Water Commission move first on the article. That's how I'm ever say move.
They said it's electricity costs from like processing the water and everything. I think that's ridiculous.
It is.
You understand me? I also want to note that I think gas prices went down.
I feel like one day.
I think gas prices went
And
down,
then
or it's been fluctuating.
Because other day $3 more go.
So it's too soon for y'all to be saying, "Oh no, I got increase." Yeah, wait little. Make we get to like a period of stability first, and then you can probably try, scam we out of one little 10 grand or more a month time. Because Lord knows it not gonna be no little or no incremental increase. It's going to be. Anyways, what's next? What do you want to talk about? What else have you seen that you want to talk about?
I forgot. You have anything? I forgot. There was a news, but I forgot. Something I was
Okay.
reading.
Yeah, sure. There's this larger conversation that is happening stemming from what happened with Wildem last night about comedians being able to perform without being attacked.
Yes.
Right? And I know that the comedy space here, the comedy space locally, it's not like it is overseas.
No.
Right? Which I think it could use a little development. What do you think? Because
I think it could.
I love a good laugh.
I love a good stand-up. I think
yeah.
You can. Yeah.
Do you recall? I know we had what is his name? IT and Fancy Cat, but then they went into like sketch comedy.
Yeah. Their sketches on YouTube.
Shibada used to be a stand-up comedian. Did he used to be a stand-up comedian?
Yes, but he started out with it. The comedy boss. He started out as a stand-up comedian, and then he went into acting with Trevor. Yeah, but he started out on Comedy Boss.
Comedy Boss. Can you put a gas on the engine? We know say.
Let's start it up.
Yeah, we know say gas.
What was that one when we used to watch with the little video with? What's that name again? Star Trek. Ooh, I miss those things, but I would love to see that. And it reminds me that we have so much creative minds. Yeah, we're not developing on that. I think what we do now is the Instagram influencer something.
Yeah.
Them. I think that we do now.
But
stand up.
I'd really love like a good stand-up show.
Me too.
I think
my school did one the other day. I didn't go.
Why?
Because I couldn't get a drive. I couldn't get a drive to come and support my school. But the upstage did the whole performance, and I heard it was magnificent. But you're right. We can capitalize on that.
All right. Yeah. So if you think that we need to be seeing like a stand-up comedy show, throughout Jamaica, then hit us up in the comments. Maybe we can, put it together and stuff. Yeah, put it together and
I feel like young people want to do it. I feel like it's something young people want to go. You remember, it used to be like the older guys, and I think young people want to go into stand-up now, and I would support it. Yeah. I like art.
All right. What place does religion have in the workplace? So I'll let you know my experience. I was working at this call center, and there was this young man who we used to call him Pastor Mike or Preacher Mike, right? And that's because he didn't hide the fact that he was a practicing Christian, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I've never been somewhere where someone actually got in the spirit while working, or they even would, take time away and kind of worship loudly. I've never worked anywhere where anyone did that. Most times you'd see people, they probably have the Bible in a corner reading, or if it's like a group of them, they're off somewhere quiet. But this guy was fully into it, to the point where, we were a bit skeptic. It's like,
is this too much for us?
Yeah. People even went to HR to report it, because they were saying, like, they felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, got it.
With his behavior. But I don't. Here's the thing, right? And you can explain. You can let me know. But is getting into spirit, is that something that you can control?
All right. So I wish somebody else was here for that, because for my church, we don't do that. Adventists, we don't do that. I'm assuming that person is either apostolistic or Pentecostal.
Okay.
Yeah, because my church, we don't do the spirit jump up, fling the bench, chop yourself around something. But just like anything else, when you get conviction, you can't control it. So I would say, because there have been times when I've been touched and I say, hallelujah, amen, praise the Lord. So I don't think it's something that you can control. I'm not saying that people don't pretend, because me go please and I'm like, stop. Yes, you say I want performance.
Yeah.
But back to your question, if it's something true, no. Wherever God lick you ready for lick you down, and this ain't lick you down. So, yeah. But for me, in terms of when persons are going to say they're uncomfortable, I can understand both sides. Because I can also say to myself, when a friend of mine cuss up bad word and on the floor and make nice, and then I report to HR. So why me can't say hallelujah? So I can see both sides. And I think sometimes we know what we tolerate and what we not tolerate. The other day, I was in church, and we do this pastoral prayer before the preacher comes on, and we kneel. I kneel. I practice to kneel in church. And when I open my eye a little bit, and I notice that most of my peers them now kneel. And I said to myself, but when we go to some fest, we stand up all night at some fest. So why we can't kneel for 2 minutes? So as I said, we tolerate what we want to tolerate. It's just like everything else. So religious things aren't something enjoyable for most of us. So we're not tolerating, we're not like, and we don't like church people because they're too stuck up. And it might make nice and made on the floor and miss it, but you tolerate your friend and cuss up bad and make nice and slap you and laugh and disrupt the floor. So I can see it from both ways, but for me personally, I separate the two.
Yeah. I think it's very important for this to be said. Whenever you're just entering a workspace or just overall, try not to discuss religion, try not to discuss politics, try not to discuss sexual orientation. Like, those are key things
Feel up
that
people. Feel up.
Yeah, those are you said feel up, because I'm like,
no. Feel out people. Feel
out.
Oh, she cool.
Yeah.
But don't outright.
Yeah, those are things that they generally advise that you stay away from, because
causes
it's
problems.
very easy for people
and a lot of us we are so ignorant.
Yeah.
So we try not to disagree to agree to disagree. Sorry, or we try not to hear out. So once you know something you want to hear, you flare up on a problem for the people on the floor. So I get why we stay away. But feel out people, because me and my linking them, we can discuss anything.
Yeah.
Because me know me linking them, and we know we're not dark and
Yeah.
fool. But stay away from it for work, for reals, especially if you're new and you don't know. Was it at any point forcing himself onto you guys, like, read the Bible, I got hell? Those are the ones me can't bother with.
No, but there were times when he'd have conversations, like the get saved conversation. Like I'm saying, the thing is, I didn't mind it. I was actually fascinated by it. If any,
see, and that's a difference.
If anything, I loved to see what he was doing. I loved to see how people reacted to it, like both the good and the bad reaction, because that kind of did help me feel out the character of the people that were around me, right?
Yes.
But I think another thing with religion at work is that some people use it as an excuse for their behavior,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I abhor it. There was an HR lady who even when I was an agent, like my team leads, they would say, "Oh, they're a Christian, so they can't do this," or "Oh, they're a Christian, so they can't do this." And what it left such a horrible taste in my mouth because you're walking around and you're proclaiming that you're a Christian, but yet still you're doing things that are going to
Not
affect
Christ-like.
no. You're doing things that you sit down and you chat the agents them.
Right.
You sit down and you plot pan the agents them. You understand
But
me?
when it's time to do something else, I'm a Christian.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so for me, I think as with most things, you should separate religion
I
from
agree
the
too.
work, unless it is that it's a space like that where you're working. Because I know people who go to like all of them go to one church, and because like someone at that church owns a business, he hires all of them.
Yeah.
And so like in a space like that, totally cool. Totally
Yeah.
fine. Like you can understand that. Maybe they even have devotions in the morning. You understand what I mean?
Mhm.
But for the larger and the more corporate spaces,
Mhm.
the more that you can, and I'm not saying that you should hide who you are. You understand me? That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a time and there's a place for everything.
And so I'm the church girl. I am like
I'm a church girl too.
1, 2, 3, 4 generation of Adventism, and I agree with Renee to an extent, to an extended part there, because also we have a job as people to spread the gospel too. However, when you realize that it is now inflicting on the person's rules and regulations, that's where you stop. Because the same Bible tells us that we feel obey laws of the land.
Yeah.
So if your workplace say, "Yo, we don't want the church something here, so do it out I get."
Mm-hmm.
Still find a little ways, just like what Daniel them and them man they used to do. Still find a little ways.
Mm-hmm.
So if them say, "Yo, we don't want that on the floor," we don't know that on lunch. You tell people say Jesus love you. Just not be on the floor because them don't want it on the floor. Because as I said, the same Bible, so we must obey the laws of the land. And as Christians, we still set examples.
Mm-hmm.
So if you realize, say, you're talking to this brother about God and he might get to HR to pen or he might get annoyed. Pray for him and move on. Yeah.
I also think, because here's the thing, we know that we live in a world where, billions of people, hundreds or tens of religions and belief systems and stuff like that. Because we live in a predominantly Christian society,
country,
then
yeah.
that's mostly what we're exposed to. But I've had the wonderful experience of, encountering Muslims, encountering persons who aren't necessarily
I've met
encountered
Jews. Yes, I've met Jews.
Black Jews.
And I hope this is not something like
Black
dunce,
Jews?
but
Were they black?
no, they were white Jews and they have beard.
Oh, like good healthy beards.
Yes, like all of them may have beard.
That's nice. I like a good beard. Yeah. But what was the encounter like?
I just saw them and I never meet them and talk to them.
Girl, I think you talk to the people
I
there.
never talk to them.
Anyways, people who are spiritualists, so they don't necessarily subscribe to any particular religion, but they're pure and they're full of light and they're full of love and they're full of positivity. Those people I really gravitate towards. Because I think we have a tendency to use religion as like a meter stick. You understand me? And for the most part, all the religions them say don't judge. So like, don't be looking at the person and being like, "Oh, so you don't pray to a god or the god or whatever, so we can't parody you." No, I think I have space for a lot of different beliefs.
I'm going to say this because I am under the Christian umbrella. Christians alone do that. How we judge your hardest?
Yeah.
How we judge your hardest? But
can we also talk about the fact that like, so I know that I mentioned that the guy kept getting up at work and
being filled. It's called filled, yeah.
The spirit and stuff like that. But you said that your denomination doesn't do
Adventists,
that.
we don't do that. Isn't that weird? How
I think, yeah.
Christianity is so diverse within itself. I think that's why a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, we're not confused." We're not confused. It's just like there's an umbrella and then different persons.
I think the best way someone explained that to me, I was able to understand it, is that you look at Christianity like a body, right? And so different parts of the body have different functions. There's things that the hands can do that probably the feet can do, that the knee can do, that the elbow can do, right? But they all come together to serve the purpose of So yeah, that's how someone explained it to me. But guys, and also I think the funniest thing is you have those people who, once again, this is going into the judgy thing, but like those people who they'll proclaim their Christianity wherever they go, and then you see them in a bathroom kiss up on a ogle with people, or you see them
some compromising. That's why I said, which is why I always tell people I go to church and God is still working on me, just in case you see me down 2020 Saturday night out with my friend them. God is working on me, So I don't proclaim to be all knowing and me a God, right? And I don't proclaim that. Nope. I proclaim. God is working on me, and I feel like sometimes if we just connect with people on that level and show people that we are
human
real,
as well.
And it doesn't work out. Me can't tell her that. This strict Christianity is something with them go on like attainable, don't work out. Everybody with me, grow under this strict Christianity. If one of them not full of tattoo, wore out, and me attack from everybody with me used to go high school with them strict Pentecostal skirt down here, so Alverna they keep sports there, then can't come, not even sports there. They are foreign now. Two picnic with man when I'm married to them, tattoo up. Me get too specific, I don't want to girl no.
No, but you're coming in the comments, come down here, Sanjay.
But I'm just saying, I'm a friend of mine, but I'm just saying they were raised under this strict, unattainable Christianity kind of vibe, and no. It got so overbearing and overwhelming. No, they just hating one, probably not like one church. So make people have them, and I'm not saying I'm not giving any excuse. Grace.
That's what we need more than anything.
Don't think me I get excuse for come to church now and then the party. I'm not giving that excuse. I'm saying God is working on people, and I think sometimes we forget that a church is a hospital. God didn't call. If God didn't call perfect people, no church wouldn't exist. We wouldn't need to go to church because we're already perfect. We're already upper heaven. So we are not perfect. God is continuing to work on us. So give people then grace, as Renee put it perfectly. Give people their grace. And some of us, like myself, need to get it together. We know better. We need to get it together. We know better. We need to get it together. But back to the workplace.
Yes.
Follow the rules.
True.
And don't forget to be yourself. If a Jesus love you, you touch, Jesus loves you.
Don't be touching people.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not touch people.
Don't be touching people.
Jesus loves you.
Don't be touching people.
But don't let it get to a part where you're being reported now, because then it becomes now a thing where laws can be passed that Christian, just like the JUTC bus situation. Remember they could have preached on JUTC bus and nobody. No, it's a criminal offense. You can't go on JUTC bus now and preach anymore because it got to that place where you were bothering people.
But I think for that, people started scamming people. Like, people would have just come on the bus and I said, and I'm just a walk a collect rope. So I think that's what they outlawed. But what I wanted to touch on is HR and religion, right? You know, as the human resource department, and guys, once again, my motto, my mantra. HR is not there for lower level staff. HR is not really there for the staff. HR is there for the company.
I don't know what HR do, Renee, but
I'm scared. Let me tell you something. I am traumatized. I've never encountered, ever encountered an HR department, an HR worker, and I was able to look at them and say, yes, you are doing your job. You are doing your job. You're being what the department name, human resources. That is what you're supposed to manage. You're supposed to manage every single facet of that, everything that comes with that. But no, they're more likely to be catering to the needs of the company than the needs
Could
of
it
the
be that
people.
we have it wrong? Like, could it be that HR is supposed to protect the company and not us? Could that we could have?
No, that's
what
what
if we don't?
no, that's what the legal department is there for.
What if we don't?
That's what the legal department is there for. The HR department is there. So here's the thing, you know. Here's what I will concede, right? The HR department at best should be a mediator between the company policies and possibly like whatever the staff, whatever staff actions there are, right? So you're supposed to be educating the people, getting them to understand and ensuring that, you know, they're following those rules. But you need to also be like graceful with it. You understand me? Let me tell you something. Somewhere that I worked previously, the HR lady, Christian according to she, to the bone. You get me? And this lady was so discriminatory. You understand? How can you be HR? You're supposed to have, you're not supposed to be biased in any way. Even if you are that way, it's not supposed to show at your job.
Yeah.
You cannot be HR and be telling people that you don't like gay people, you don't like homosexuals. Mom, go sit down, go home. Jump in a little jalopy and go home. It's not. She did that. I remember there was this specific incident with a young lady that was on my team. You know, she did a rub, she did a bleach or whatever. If that's what she wants to do, then that's what she wants to do. And she went around to the HR office to speak to them about something. And the HR manager looked at the girl up and down and is like, she don't know how some people get work here.
Yeah, sure. Sometimes people inner thoughts come out.
No, I'm telling you, but as an HR manager,
you
that should never happen. This is the person that is responsible for certain types of training within the company. You can't be telling me about sensitivity training and all of that when you're doing that.
That's
you understand?
Where did it work?
I remember. Cannot call the name for
me
legal reasons.
But me I say and me did think what me did work at party shop.
But there was also another incident with a pregnant girl. And this is where I really, really realized. I mean, I knew it and I understood it before, but this is when it really hit me. That, you know, when you're HR, and this is why I implore people who are entering the workforce, try your best. I know it's a lot, and the way how laws are written, it's not necessarily meant for the regular man to understand them, but try your best to even understand the basic laws that apply to you.
Read the handbook, here. You know, some
listen,
me almost gonna trouble work at the end of read the handbook.
Hey, not even the handbook, because the company can change the handbook whenever they feel like to suit whatever it is that they're pushing. You understand me? So not even the handbook. But back to the story I was telling you. Young girl, she's pregnant. You understand me? And she was having some difficulties with the pregnancy. She had to be calling out sick very often. And she wanted to submit for like an early leave. You get me? And would you believe, by the way, you're not supposed to. As HR, and guys, please bear this in mind. There is, if you say you're sick and you tell them say you're sick, that is where it's supposed to end. You're not supposed to divulge certain details. You're not supposed to.
I feel like it's our culture though.
The lady, this lady was requesting that information.
Like you say, come in Jamaican, we love say what do.
No, she wanted the girl got a gynecologist, and the gynecologist write letter and tell her exactly what do are, exactly why she need to go up and leave early. To me, it was borderline harassment.
Yeah.
It was borderline harassment.
Yeah.
You understand me?
It was.
Yeah. And once again, this is a lady who was trying to convince everybody around her. I think she didn't even believe it herself that she was Christian.
Yeah. I see, this is what I don't like, because then
you leave a bad taste in people's mouth.
And then Christian people, even the other day I was in traffic with bomb threat.
Who was the person?
Yeah, girl. People like, I'm gonna stop with the bomb threat something. 2 hours in a taxi, and the girls come in and them a talk, and she said, "Boy, I don't know when they go get the Adventist woman there. My manager fine, you know." Mr. Christian people them my words, and I felt so bad. Because I still don't listen, because I couldn't connect to class. Zoom when I kick me off and all. So I have time for fast. And she chat the woman all the horrible things and everything. She said, that's why I like work with the Adventist people there. And me Adventist in the corner with her, and me feel so bad. Because me say, but me not gonna always stay so. But you
Yeah.
can't tell the average person who have
No.
gotten hurt by these people that
Yeah.
they're not good people, right? But I always say this to people. Look at it this way. Everywhere you go, you have people like that. We work with people who we don't like every day. Every day we work with people who we don't like. But somehow, because when it comes on to Christian people, we draw the line. Me not gonna church, me 80 Christian people, but you go work every day with people you don't like. So for me, it's a era. Me just go through because me know when me I go to church. Me know say you have bad and good Christian. So you see, if you over there someone act up as a bad Christian, do your thing, miss. Me will look for the example of the good Christian over here. So
I think the issue is that they don't have many examples
of them,
of
that's
the good ones to talk about.
And then not everybody have the mentality with me.
Yeah.
So
I can give you another story. This was the senior team lead who proclaimed she was a Christian as well. Another pregnant young woman. You understand me? This was the early stages of the pregnancy. So you know, morning sickness, all of that dependent.
I guess. Me no know.
Morning sickness, all of that
Yes.
depend the young lady.
Me no know.
And she, at the time, there was like a little like nurses station there where, you know, if you were feeling really, really bad, but not horrible enough where you want to go home, you could have go take a five or take your lunch and, you know, recoup. And she said she wanted to go around there. And the girl, I go look on the team lead, the senior team lead, I go look on the agent and tell the agent, say, she need to make up her mind what she want to do, because this not going to work.
Wow. You know, sometimes
so me like she, and this is why I said to you guys, whenever you have those uncomfortable interactions, send an email. Write it down. Write down what happened. Write down the date that it happened. Write down who was there that could possibly be a witness or possibly corroborate the story. And you send an email. You send an email to HR. Now, that young lady could have very well taken up that situation outside of the company. Outside of the company and sued them. She would have been well within her right to do that. You understand me?
I feel like a bad man.
Why? Because maybe she didn't want to get pregnant.
Yeah, I feel like a bad man. That's another topic too. I hate how we treat each other as women. We're terrible. There's a book called "Women Would Run This World If We All Didn't Hate Each Other." You ever read it? It's based that book. They made a movie. What the movie with a mad girl name. And on Fridays we wear pink. On Wednesdays we wear pink. Ooh.
With L. I'm
oh my
calling
God!
her
The movie
name. Why am I calling her L?
The movie there. They made the movie from that book. Mean Girls.
Whoa.
Mean Girls. So the book was Mean Girls was based off that book. Women would run this world if we all didn't hate each other. And we I don't know, we bad man bad.
Yeah.
I feel like it's bad man.
Yeah.
But why lead? Some of we fi shut up. Some of we nobody nothing know we are Christian.
Yeah.
So shut up. Make people say you ain't got church.
Yeah.
Make people say that. Because when you lead with it, there are expectations like everything else. And I feel like back to what I was saying, but you know, God is working on us. Even though you lead with something, I am a Christian, at least show a little bit of the Christianity. Me lead with me love red cup, you know, make people see me with red cup all the time.
Yeah.
No lead with me love red cup, and every time me say it's a green cup, me say with more question, me say, but you see I love red cup, Renee. So I feel like some of we not fit tell people. Not that make people shock and know some not Christian, because we not make it bad.
Also, I also had this other experience but this wasn't with a Christian. This was with a
Patricia used to
Muslim.
work. A meeting with work a Patricia.
Most call centers in Jamaica are patty shops.
In fact, HR, and we had a friend at one little point.
Most call centers in Jamaica. Unfortunately, and this is the thing. This is what the young people in the labor force, this is what they're experiencing. Most call centers in Jamaica are partition. I have a young man up to today who's had issues getting paid. Every time the young man forget him pay, although I'm submitting bank details, a check, them pay him that? And he has to leave off of work. Figure large check. Money outside of the tax for them already collect out of the check. They have to pay for the check. You understand me? Sometimes he might even get paid for the hours that he's out. We have to leave and go collect the check and go cash it and all of them something there.
Wow. We never know things like that's happening in 2022. That's sad.
Yeah. And this is the thing. Every day you look there's another call center popping
Pop up.
up.
Yeah, it does.
And it's just these people who have money, who have no idea of what the laws are, no respect
No
for
empathy
the law,
and no compassion.
for their workers, and they're allowed to operate
Start a
these
coffee shop.
businesses because they're quote unquote doing good for the country by providing jobs, and they're, you know, improving infrastructure or whatever else they're doing. And I don't have an issue with that. I'm just saying there needs to be the other side of it needs developing. The human side of the BPO sector in Jamaica needs developing. We
Which
need
then
to do
begs
better.
the question, when it comes down to religion, do we regulate something? Do we say don't discuss it here? Do we have should HR step in and should there be a law, or even wider, should the government step in and have a law?
I think that's dependent on company policies. Most companies will say don't discuss it. I think it's in the handbook for most companies.
And I like
Don't
what you say
discuss
about,
that.
you know, I like what you say about since it's becoming an issue, have these different denominations have their own. I know for my church we have spaces. Adventists have look out for them, have spaces.
Yeah.
However, with all of that said, we don't like work for them because they mean. They're mean. And they're terrible. Yeah, I said it. Me can't say it, I'm me the Adventist. Renee can't say it. Me can't say it. They're mean and they're terrible. So even though there are spaces there, the Adventist women, they own a business and we work for them. Up a conference of them own when them employ only Adventists, or schools only employ Adventists. Only Adventist teachers. And you have to be in good and regular standing at your church. So like me now, me can't get one job because me not in a good and regular standing. But there are spaces, and the Catholics do it too. Catholics have them spaces. Because Alvern and most of the teachers, them are the Catholic, them look out for each other. But as me say, with the Adventists, nobody no like
I don't think
terrible and I like pay. They mean and I like pay people. Your money, then where your money, and then happy Sabbath, you owe me money. Me not understand.
I think there should always be a separation
Of church and
church
state.
and everything. You understand me?
That's
Unless
true.
it's church.
Because
Church
it's
and
such a
church is
huge
not-
impact.
Yes.
And I don't know why. Why is religion such a huge impact?
Because religion is the opiate of the people. It's what we.
I was waiting for that. I was like,
It's-
why? Like, yes.
It's the foundation of our society. Remember
Yes.
saying, I eat them be used for control the
Control the
slaves.
masses. Yeah.
You understand me?
And that's why a lot of
It's-
people hate it.
Yeah, that's why nowadays, especially, you'll find that a lot of educated persons are moving away from religion, are moving away from structured religion. You understand me? Because when you look at history and you look at the atrocities that were committed in the name of religion,
Then people
it's
are like, crap.
where you preach, I want to
Crap.
do two different things. You understand me?
Yeah.
But when it comes on to work, my advice would be don't
Separate
discuss it.
it.
Much
Separate
like
it.
politics. And like I said, sexual orientation. Those are the big three. Don't discuss it. Don't
I feel
talk
like-
about it. Don't hint at it.
I feel like sexual orientation became a hot thing now. Because when you would have grew up, you didn't care.
I
Did
still
you care?
don't.
So I don't understand.
Not that I don't
and
care.
I don't. I'm going to say
but
this. I'm going to say this with love.
It's not an issue for me.
I'm going to say this with love. And never we started. I wanna started. And the same people them started. And the gay people them started. I'm gay. We didn't care.
But I think what it is, especially within our society, and obviously now we've become more tolerant and it's more acceptable for someone.
You know, I don't think so. I don't think it's more acceptable. I just think we tolerate it. I still think when they turn them back, fish and but we just not care enough to talk about we forefathers and we done our illiterate
yeah, that's metal.
our illiterate grandparents. Because they were illiterate to the thing. They were ignorant to the thing.
No, man, I think it's become
But-
more acceptable
Me
because
too. I think we
even
still-
especially here's the thing,
Mhm.
this is what we need to understand. When these American or these Canadian or these international companies outsource their jobs here, they're not just bringing jobs, they're bringing their culture.
Right, which
You
is why I
understand
don't
me?
think it's
And
that
that's-
we
let me
accept it,
finish.
we just think we tolerate it.
Let me finish. They bring their culture.
Mm-hmm.
And what you'll find is that because they are so accepting over there. You understand me? That culture translates here. And so you will find that you'll have a gay person who is in the workplace who maybe at one next call center they probably wouldn't feel so comfortable being themselves or being so open. But because they work for this one and probably the director is whatever, they're okay. And they find more community with the people that they're interacting with. And maybe you don't necessarily agree with their lifestyle. You understand me? But definitely tolerating them. But I think it's more than just tolerance. I think not everybody, but I think that a lot of people.
Yeah, man.
Because
100% we have improved. 100%.
Because, and I also think that a lot of people are now at the point where they are accepting of the fact that sexuality isn't just a singular thing. You understand me? And because you are probably looking at yourself and saying, oh, probably when we did that grow up, we didn't like one girl or whatever. The guys probably wouldn't, they'll never admit that they maybe liked a guy, whatever.
Sigmund Freud said they did like guys.
They did. Anyways, but people are more accepting. People are more
tolerant
along the lines of,
and
what
we,
do I ever
and we stop care. People,
yeah.
Let me tell you something. The time when me have this long and care about who gay or not, me have water bill, light bill, UE, $4,000 forget them. Me no care if you're gay. Me have things to worry about. So I feel like before us, they may have enough things to care about because they may have enough things to worry about. We can buy houses now. Them we have houses. They won't build black and I must say black and win $20 cement and win $10 one time. They never have much worries. So I feel like we have so many going on up here that your sexuality no matter we have so much we had a bustle, so we don't care. But then they had a lot to worry about. They had little to worry about. So whatever amused us. Remember some grandparents and they have TV and then they have they may have radio. Then they have YouTube and stuff we worry about and we head mash up about. So they could have sit up on the environment and laptop, hear say boy, hear say funny. They won't have the time to worry about that. But we don't have the time.
No man, I think that people still do it. I just think
we just think we don't have the time. We move on. Oh, Bruce gay, alright, cool. Why me have a credit card bill? No, we gone back to our struggles. We don't care. We not have the time. You know, if you're one different millennial.
No. But here's the thing, I'm not saying that we care enough to like be sitting on a lavish about them, or if we delve in them lifestyle, like who have you slept with, who have you been? No, we don't care that much. But I'm saying, as a society, we've come a far way.
We have.
And we are, you say it's tolerance, I say it is both tolerance and acceptance.
I guess.
It's not like...
That's Gen Z acceptance.
Yeah, it's tolerance and acceptance.
We stress out because we have to take care of... Akino said something to me the other day. He said millennials are like... We are like the trunk where... because of Gen Z can be the root.
The root or the branches?
Or one of them he said, Akina, I'm sorry. One of them he said, and then he said, we have to take care of the generation before with the boomers and the Gen
They
Y.
would be the roots.
Right. So we are the trunk, and we are serve everybody, and we are stand up firm for everybody. Because remember, the trunk make it tree stand
That's
up.
That's a good analogy.
Yes. So we have a burden on everybody. So the time me as I said, the time me I sit down and worry about Rick, me not have the time, me have NCB credit card money for get me not have the time.
Side note, when I was younger, I always thought my husband would be named Rick. Yeah, I just thought it was a
I just want a compliment. But I think there's space to separate religion from the work. I think there's space, I think there's space for it to thrive through without you being a menace.
You should. That's a lovely.
What me always do is, for me tell people, they ask which church I me Adventist, and then me try to mesh with the Christians. So anyway, me always friend with the Pentecostal them with the other. For some reason, many other Adventists them.
Say it's not for some reason. That's honestly.
Yeah, but they have this above it all. But many Pentecostal them always gel. We always gel because even right now, me and Miss Matnish, we gel.
But yeah, guys. So that's our episode. If you've had any experience with Christians at work,
let us know.
That was favorable
or any
horrible,
other religion,
or any other religion for true. Make we know what are the Christian experiences we have. Make we know. Link us up in the comments. That's our episode for this week.
I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah,
thank you for your feedback. Yes,
and join us again next week. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment.
And
Don't
share.
forget to share. That's us. We were here. Bye.